In Luke, the 22nd chapter, beginning there at verse 14, I'm not going to read it. It's remembrance of our lives. You know, a lot of us like to remember what we've been through, what we've went through. Remembering our own life, our friends, those around about us, those have been, that's made a difference with the. Many years ago, we tried to find one here a while back, things called Things to Remember, and I don't believe they have them anymore. I've not seen that store anymore. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. They engraved special things for people, on special occasions. Many people give engraved things, specialties, in honor of a special day or to share a special moment. And if you've received such a gift, you know what it means or the treasure it becomes. People like to remember the happy times and the significant events that has taken place. Memories are precious. They keep us connected to people, places, events. All of us remember. I can remember when I was a kid running up and down these roads through here, and everything was really nice and beautiful. It ain't like it is today. Everything was beautiful. Pansy used to be one of the beautifulest communities around. People don't believe that if you look at it today, but at one time it was. Everybody had their yards grind. And if you wrecked on a bicycle, that's what we had, bicycles, wrecked on, somebody would come out and get you and take you in their home. Not today. It's a whole different thing. You couldn't even find a bicycle. People kids don't even know what a bicycle is. But those things you remember. And we wish, some things we wish we could forget, but they're a part of our lives. The unpleasant things can offer lessons in learning through adversities. Things that we don't want to remember, things that we remember, and things that we just like to forget. They all make our being, made us what we are. I still remember. I remember, boys, get ready. I remember when McKenna come down there one morning, sat on that porch, and that sun was beating down. Here come Reagan. She said, sit down right here, Reagan. She just sat there. She'd burn up. I said, don't do that. It was really hot. But now they did that. You remember those things. You can remember those things as time goes by and everything. Now, the Last Supper Jesus shared a meal with his disciples in the Last Supper and led them to an ancient observance of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, or Passover. Jesus, being the master teacher, used this opportunity to plant a very important memory in his disciples that was gathered in that upper room. Jesus shaped their mind, and he shaped the meal for the benefit for those around him. And he added new significance to an ancient ritual. There in Luke, the 22nd chapter, records that Jesus told his disciples to observe the Passover in remembrance of me. Jesus took the old symbols and filled them with new meaning. It's completely new. The meaning of Jesus' words are still acting in the minds of his disciples, and they remember. Today's disciples, we observe the Lord's Supper in remembrance of Christ. Some congregations refers to the ordinance as a memorial supper. They call it a memorial. It gives the significance of Christ's atoning work on the cross. Other congregation refers to it as a communion, and it speaks of the believer's intimacy with Christ. So, whatever we call this observance, the one thing is very clear. It is a time to remember. Now, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the historical background for especially the Lord's Supper, as he observed here, was in Exodus 12. We have a few chapters. God records God's miraculous rescue of Israel from slavery. See, the plague of judgment of the firstborn and the angel of death to pass over that household, the family had to put blood from a sacrificial lamb on the door frame of their home or their house. And this lamb was the meal of unleavened bread. Jesus became the abiding symbol of Israel's deliverance from bondage. And it shows us the broken body of Jesus Christ for our deliverance. As Jesus' disciples watched Jesus and listened to his words of this Passover, they would have understood the historical significance of his action. What they did not fully understand until after the crucifixion and the resurrection, that how this was transformation of what had been a Jewish feast of remembrance into a new symbol of remembrance of Jesus' atoning sacrifice. You know, I had the opportunity to get on the battleship, the USS Missouri. The USS Missouri was where Douglas MacArthur and the Japanese commanders, or whatever, surrendered in World War II. There it is now anchored right off the Ford Island in Pearl Harbor. It is referred to as Big Mo. It is huge. It was the end, and they got a bright star right on the deck where the surrender was signed. Now, that was nearly 70-some years ago. That event that happened. And we're still enjoying the freedom rescued by the heroic service of our parents and our grandparents during this time. Because you can see what the thing. And so, I always got tickled. I said I was on that where the Arizona, you could look down, you could see the drips of oil coming out of the ship. And I told somebody, I said, when Dad went over there in that LST, I believe that's what it was, I said, he went by there and he said, and we're going out there? And all these big battleships is sunk on the bottom, and we're going out there? See, the historical heroes of our parents, our grandparents, and all those that was in World War II, and we still enjoy the freedom that they sacrificed for. Now, the God who acted in history to deliver his people Israel is an act in history to deliver us. The elements used in this supper are not the real body and blood of Jesus Christ, but are powerful symbolic that to cause us to remember that Jesus really did suffer and die, and it is real. and also the time and the place. What Jesus did centuries ago imparts on us and lets us know what life is all about. I want the deacons to come forward.